Hi everybody, I'm Bree the Plant Lady, checking in with a weekly garden tour here in my Zone 7, Raleigh, North Carolina foodscape. We're in the first week of December, we've already had a hard frost, and in classic Carolina style, we've now had over a week of frost-free, really mild, warm temperatures, which is my reminder for precisely why I relocated south 19 years ago from the Midwest. So let's take a quick stroll around the garden to see how everything is looking and to check my progress on getting the garden transitioned from summer to winter. Well, here at the fire pit, you can see the powder blue blueberries are holding on just a little bit of their foliage, that incredible fire red. You know, I was in the Midwest this week and I saw so much euonymus, and I really don't understand why we would plant that Asian plant, the burning bush, when you could do something like Itea or Vaccinium that are both native, benefit native pollinators, and give you the same dynamic fall color. And I, of course, brought that up at the conference that I was speaking at. Now, here in the fire pit, the containers that I planted a few weeks ago are doing great. This red Russian kale is finally starting to develop true leaves. These are all cotyledon leaves, but you can see some true leaves are finally starting to come up. And the pots of barley, they're just so cool. And look how they just shimmer. This is called guttation, when you get tiny little droplets attached to the leaves. And that's based off of, I think, like relative humidity and the plant's transpiration rate. And here you can see I was very heavy-handed with that lettuce, but isn't it such a pretty little ground cover? And I'll be able to harvest that. The nest from Crescent has been rocking. It's been looking great for months. But you can see that red Russian kale really gets this nice purple hue with the cooler temperatures. And the barley behind it's doing great. And these pots, same as over there, the barley. Now this lettuce pot is underwhelming me, and I'm probably gonna just replant it. But I did get the tomato trail cleaned up, and I cleaned up these bananas. I posted a video on this. My process for overwintering tropical plants like hardy bananas is really simple. I just trim off all the dead leaves and stuff. I leave the stalks, and then I mulch them with ground leaves. These are just what we picked up from the lawnmower, and I stash them around all my tropicals, including bananas, colocaceas, hedychium, various palms. You really can't go wrong using ground leaves as a winter mulch, except for when you are doing direct seeding. And the direct seeding needs to have to germinate, like in the case of poppies. So I've had a million questions about that. I'll address that when I get out front. And since that pot is so boring, I figured you can just come into the greenhouse. This is why I love having stashes of plants, and just pick out some things to make that pot more interesting. I definitely think the addition of some violas is a good idea. And I think I'll also do one of these really crinkle cut mustards, and actually have a whole tray of celery that I haven't planted yet, along with some leftover parsley. So I think I'll be able to make that container look far more interesting, just plugging a few of these things in. And I think that lettuce that I sowed in that pot is probably better to be done in trays and then transplanted. That's a good lesson to learn. I've been trying to employ this "it only takes a minute" strategy to stop putting things off for better time management. And there it is in action. It really did only take a minute. I'm super happy to have that replanted, and I won't be aggravated when I walk into this space seeing one container that's underperforming. So, only takes a minute, just go ahead and do it. So I posted a video about the cabbage worms, and I dusted BT. I know that the powder BT is harder to find, but you can also use the liquid BT, this Bacillus thuringiensis. I'm always amazed though at how offended people are when they see me, you know, crushing cabbage worms. Like, I don't understand that. Like, they're not a pollinator, you guys. You gotta draw the line between pollinators and pests. And, well, I don't grow broccoli to feed cabbage worms, period. So you can see I've got all these dusted. I've got this bed dusted back here. And this area will be the focus of my next video, where I talk about how to direct seed California poppies, which are very different from the annual poppies, Papaver somniferum, that I traditionally grow. This is California poppy. This was sown last December, Eschscholzia californica. See, it's a very different plant. This has actually been growing now for a whole year, 12 months. It never went dormant. And of course they bloom in the spring. They're usually orange, but there are varieties that are red and yellow. And I have a couple different packets that I'm going to plan to sprinkle some in here, although I'm seeing quite a lot of things that are self-sowing, including nigella, regular poppies, Papaver somniferum, larkspur. These are all garlics that I missed last year that are growing on their own. I missed a lot of garlic, and I harvested a ton of garlic. First, this is some kale that I planted a few months ago. But I have some open spots, so I'll be able to sprinkle some seeds into this area and get it filled with the California poppies. Here's a small one left from last year. There's another big clump of the California poppy there. You can see I did go through and cut back the Salvia leucantha. I just don't like seeing dead stalks. I'm pretty particular about that. You can leave them. If you like that aesthetic, by all means, you should leave them. But I trimmed mine back, and I will just add a little bit of mulch around just to be an extra insulator. Well, I'll show you my work zone here. I have some big plans to turn bird's nest gourds into something tacky, like snowmen. And I have a bunch of fallen hydrangeas and poppies to start spray painting. I'll be sure to post a tacky spray paint holiday video for you in the coming week. Into the woodland. I'm still amazed at how few camellias are blooming compared to a year ago at this time. There are a few blooming there. That's a variety that I lost the tag on. And here is one of my favorites that consistently has tons of flowers. This is Igawa 3 Seasons, and it's a really beautiful flower. You can see lots of camellia buds showing color, but not open quite yet. I of course have a ton of cutbacks to do. I'm not really rushing myself. It'll all happen. Come through to the compost pile. You haven't seen the compost pile in a while. That peach just keeps getting bigger and bigger. You see, it really is growing out of the compost pile. It was a peach pit. Look at the circumference of that trunk. It's crazy. You know, if I just come through and get rid of all the castor beans, that'll make a big difference because they get really ugly with the frost. So that's certainly a goal for the coming days. We still have a really mild forecast. And oh, you guys, look, the Croton alabamensis is starting to show its amazing fall color. So I love this plant because the backs are super silvery. But at this time of year, you can see, for me, this is semi-deciduous. In warmer climates, it I think is fully evergreen. This is like my main reason for growing it. That incredible orange coloration with the bright silver foliage. I love it. Croton alabamensis, a fantastic native to the southeast. Guess who has weeds? Me. This will be easy to clean up. I just need to get out here and do it. And obviously I haven't made much progress since a week ago. I've made some progress. I'm gonna show you out front, but I haven't done anything out back yet. I'm definitely anxious to get things cleaned up. I just, I don't know what's happened to my week this week. It went by really fast. Oh, I know, I was in St. Louis. Okay, I'm not gonna give myself too hard of a time. I was out of the state. Like, why didn't I get more done? Well, this is a pretty little corner. I'm gonna use this sorghum as a tree topper, but I haven't done the tree yet. And next to it is this incredible oak leaf hydrangea, whose name I still need to figure out. This is from First Editions with Distillium at the base. All this are plants from the First Editions plant line. And of course the Deutzia behind that is showing off its nice yellow coloration. And spinning into the new property, this is the last hurrah for this stupid Bradford pear. Granted, they do get wonderful fall color. I'm not dismissing that. But this tree will be coming out in January, along with several other undesirable trees. We will have so many better trees planted in its place. This is not a loss for the environment. It's actually a win. Bradfords are becoming extremely invasive here in the southeast. And the windows were supposed to get installed on Friday, but they didn't come. So I'm hoping they come on Monday. As soon as the windows get installed, the painters are ready to paint the exterior of the house, and then all the gutters will go on, and it will really feel like we've made some actual progress on the outside. And just a quick peek in, so I don't usually do this on my garden tours, but we have made a lot of progress. All the appliances are here, which was shocking. Laundry room, there's one refrigerator, here's the other refrigerator, and here is the gas range. This won't be where it stays. It goes into the peninsula that is kind of back behind here. We still have some work to do on the fireplace. We're not breaking any records. You know, the cabinets aren't coming in now until the middle of March, so we're just not super motivated to like rush and make decisions. And I've been looking for a chandelier for the dining room. Lowe's didn't have anything that was suitable, so I started doing a deep dive on Google last night. It's relatively dangerous, but I did find some that are very reasonably priced, and I'm trying to channel my inner Sarah Richardson, which I don't really possess, but she's my favorite interior designer. If you're not familiar, oh my gosh, find her on YouTube, Sarah Richardson Design. She has a fabulous TV show, or she used to. She's Canadian. She's entirely why I picked this color. I really admire her design sense. One thing that did get done is the vanities went in to the bathrooms. This is super tiny. This is a tiny bathroom. You know, obviously the toilet goes there. Toilets can't go in until the glass doors go in. And for some reason, Lowe's has sent the wrong hardware twice. So that's a little bit annoying, but again, we're not in a huge hurry. We are going to have a holiday potluck here next Sunday, like a week from today. And we were hoping to have one toilet working so people could use the bathroom, but maybe not, you know, it's all right. We live next door, they can use the bathroom there. So the vanity in this room looks great. This was like really stupid in the sense that there's a 58-inch opening and the standard for a double sink is 60 inches. And so none of the standard cabinets would fit, and it was going to be way too expensive and too long to wait to do something custom. So we have a little space for like a trash can to fit in, because we couldn't find a cabinet, a pre-made vanity that fit into 58-inch hole. Everything was 60 inches. you sometimes wonder, you know, how did that bathroom get built in the 1990s at not a standard size? But it didn't. So anyhow, that is a quick run through here in the property next door. Progress is, you know, it's happening. It's just not happening at like the speed of light, but that's okay. Let's get back outside. Out here in the driveway bed, the pots that I did last week look good. I love that I moved these floating arrangements here because I see them from my kitchen and it brings me so much happiness. And they're really easy to redo because, you know, water is right there. The wall is growing like mad. This was the best idea ever. Totally inspired by my friend, landscape architect Preston Montague, who said, just do the whole thing in barley. Best decision ever. I actually had a dead battery in my Prius for the first time ever, and my super awesome handy husband came home from a 12.5-hour shift and went out and bought the only battery in all of Fuquay and got it installed. And I haven't tried to start the car today, but I will soon because it's my garden helper's 15th birthday and we are going to go hiking and I have to drive. Now, this is all staged. I'm gonna be spray painting all these poppies. I have a bunch of okra also to spray paint. I do not spray paint these amazing cones, which I did collect during a visit in California, and I shipped them back and I use them every year. I love them. I love them an irrational amount. But I did get some Christmas put up. These poppies will get spray painted silver, and then beautiful greenery from Weston Farms, including those faux magnolia blooms that I just think are so pretty. So I'm really happy with how the front porch looks. It's, you know, it's just a start, but it's a start. Now, speaking of getting things accomplished, I did get this bed tackled. It doesn't look like anything at all. I was actually hoping to like do some sort of holiday decoration in the middle of this bed, but I couldn't find anything. So maybe I'll have to make something. I don't know. No germination yet. This has only been seeded a couple of days and it's been dry. We haven't gotten any rain. I think we have a strong chance of rain on Wednesday, but I have been watering this by hand with a hose because I don't want the seeds to not germinate because of dryness. You can see the garlic that I transplanted has really suffered because it's been dry. I need to come back through and water these edges. I can't believe I haven't gotten the wave done, but I haven't. This is on my top priority list for tomorrow. I'm not gonna get any gardening done today because we're gonna go hiking. So if you knew me well, you know I always prefer to be gardening over walking around the woods, but you know. 15th birthdays deserve something that's out of the ordinary. These Iteas, like I mentioned earlier, I think that get rid of your euonymus and plant something native. You can no longer say that euonymus have the best fall color because they don't. And look at this Itea. This is from First Edition's plant line, and it's spectacular. So we walk around here. I have lots of ginger lilies to cut down. And really great fall color on this Chionanthus retusus, which is the Asian fringe tree. Such a great plant. You can see it's got an enormous trunk too. It's so beautiful. I love how architectural it is. Now, not to confuse you, that's Chionanthus. This is Chimonanthus, the winter sweet. And this is a plant that you always smell before you see. And this year it's really blooming with a ton of foliage on still. Usually it's deciduous before it flowers, but we've had weird weather. I love Wintersweet. Look for my latest blog at soilcube.com to learn all about Wintersweet. Sweet little Camellia Brie, named for me, blooming here in the side border, along with Jason's grandma, my made-up name for this chrysanthemum, which does have a real cultivar name. It's Japanese and I don't remember it. I got it from my friend Jason Reeves and I love it so much. Another favorite spot, which I'm sure I've mentioned before, is Trachycarpus fortunii, and then the variegated alstroemeria and this variegated carex from the Evercolor series. This corner always just makes me smile year round. It looks great. Gardening in Zone 7 really is awesome. Well, I hope you've enjoyed today's garden tour. I look forward to sharing more updates next week. Hopefully I will have made even more progress on getting more beds replanted for the cool season. That includes, taking down all the summer plants and then direct seeding lots of different combinations. And be sure to subscribe to Bree the Plant Lady's YouTube channel. That way you'll know when I have new videos going up, which I'm aiming to have at least one video every day for the next couple of weeks. I appreciate you watching. Have a great week and happy gardening, everybody.